David Meseguer, the Catalan freelance journalist, will join us now live from Spain. Welcome to our show, Mr. Meseguer. So, like Carlos Lutuzu, you questioned the report of Reporters Without Borders on press freedom in Rojava. Tell us more about your experience in Rojava.
Hello, good morning. First of all, I that me and Carlos, we are not in position to tell if the statements are true or false, but we can talk about our own experience in the area. From my point of view, I have been 4 times in Rojava, working in Afrin area, also in Sheikh Massoud and Al-Shrafiya in Aleppo. And as I said in my letter to the Reporters Without Borders, I have never faced a problem about moving freely in the area. I have been able to talk with all of sources, all of political parties that I wanted to talk, so I have never faced any problem of movement.
According to you, on what did the Reporters Without Borders base their report, Mr. Meseguer?
I think that Report Without Borders, before publishing the report, they should make double check and also talk with more sources that have been working in the area. For instance, since the beginning of the war, many foreign journalists have been working in Rojava, in Afrin, in Kobani, or in the Jazeera area, and none of them appears on the report. So I think that this is the first thing that the journalists or the people who write the report should do, talk with all the sources that have been working in Rojava.
What could be done, Mr. Meseguer, in order for the organization to reconsider its report? What kind of role could journalists play here, journalists who are working inside Rojava and foreign journalists like you?
Yeah, well, I think that now maybe they can make another report to explain all of the opinions that are about that issue. But as I told you, I think that with many foreign journalists that I have talked during these months, that they have been working in Rojava, most of them, they never face a problem to move freely all around the area. So I think that such an international organization like Reporters Without Borders, as I said, it should be more professional and make double check, talk with all the sources, most of the journalists that we have been working in the area, and make a complete report, not only to give a partial vision of the situation.
In your opinion, to what extent will this biased political report damage the credibility of Reporters Without Borders?
Yeah, I think that if you try to make a professional journalist work, you should make double check and talk with such sources as you can. So, from my point of view, as I said before, this report only talk with a few sources and doesn't talk with most of the foreign journalists that we have been working on the area. Not only freelance journalists like Carlos Lutuzu or me. I think that, for instance, recently the BBC has been working on the run in the Jazeera area. So it's to a professional organization. They must talk with most of the media that have been working on the area to have a whole picture of what's going on regarding the press freedom in Rojava.
In one of your visits to Rojava, you and Oriol Gracia have filmed the Silent Revolution documentary. Before we discuss this documentary, let us move on to the next clip, which contains some experts from the Silent Revolution.
Okay.
In 2011, as civil war broke out in Syria in the wake of the so-called Arab Spring, the Syrian Kurds launched an historic process of cultural and political recognition to finish nearly 50 years of government oppression. Afrin is a predominantly Kurdish region in northern Aleppo province, where 500,000 people live. Here, the silent revolution
قوات المدحية أزي خدمتي دي قليبة وقالوا فرمزلومة بنية فحتى قوات المدحية أمي تشيكا دا رويت المري دي بمرة جي بمرة فأمي زمانين أم ناخذن بمرة
These were some excerpts from the Silent Revolution, going back now to one of the directors of the documentary, David Meseguer, who is joining us through Skype. Mr. Meseguer, how did you and Oriol Gracia get the idea to make this documentary, and why did you name it The Silent Revolution?
Since me, like a journalist, I have been working on the Kurdish issue since many years ago. So when I was able to enter in Rojava, concretely in Afrin region, after being 2 times working about what's going on, what I lived there, it was I was so impressed because it's like a national revolution. Me as a Catalan, we lived something similar when in the last years of Franco dictatorship. So when I realized what's going on, I decided to make this documentary. Not only focus on the war, I also want to show what's the revolution of the Kurdish people. For this, we talk in our documentary about the education, the fight and the role of women, also the culture, also the new medias in Kurdish language, the political struggle. So in Neuros 2013, I decided with Oriol to travel to Afrin area and make the documentary.
How was the distribution of the documentary? To what extent can we say that your documentary, The Silent Revolution, succeeded to shed light on the Rojava silent revolution?
Well, the documentary was shown for first time in London Kurdish Film Festival last November, and also have been shown in Stockholm Kurdish Film Festival this March. So we are planning to show it, to screen it in more international film festivals, and also we here in Catalonia or in Basque Country or other places in Spain, we have screening in many places, and because there are we have some things in common with the Kurdish people. I mean the Catalan and the Basque people. A lot of people have paid interest on the documentary and on the situation of Kurdish people in Syria.
David Meseguer, the Catalan freelance journalist, you've been with us from Spain. Thank you very much for speaking to Ronahî.
You are welcome. Thank you very much.